Hello everyone, and welcome back to Interlagos for the second race of this weekend. I'm still Justin, and for this race we'll be driving in the C-Spec roof, which is kind of the least interesting. It's the most kind of bland of the roofs, is one way you could put it. They're all fun to drive fast Porsches, obviously, but it's the most bland, I would say. It's not quite as good as the track. Because it's heavier and it doesn't have the racing tires. It's just got kind of street tires, and also it doesn't have as much horsepower as the RWD and AWD versions. So that kind of makes it a little bit less exciting as well. So in my opinion, it's the least interesting of them all, but it is kind of balanced. It's a little bit more. It's certainly more predictable on the track than the RWD is anyway. I haven't driven the AWD yet, but it's certainly more predictable than the RWD. Easier to control, that sort of thing. So for this one, it is a rolling start. And actually, there were some problems with the grid, so we actually had to do a rolling start followed by a repositioning of cars and then another rolling start. This is me in 4th place in my black, yellow, and kind of gray colored car. That's what that is. PJ's in the lead with John in 2nd. And is that SD? No, it's not SD in 3rd. That's the other guy. Oh, and there's already been an incident. Sorry, that was Elvin. And let's go ahead and find out what happened with John and PJ here. I want to say that it was a problem with PJ, but let's take a look in the chase cam. Yep, yeah, PJ just lost control. John thought going to the right would be a good idea, but no, that was the wrong way to go, as PJ ended up settling kind of on the right side of the track. Certainly going to the left was the best way to go, but John had to make a decision on the move while PJ's car was still moving, is what I mean, which is always difficult. So let's go ahead and I love slow-mo replays. I won't change angles too much, but oh man, I really like PJ's livery too, the black and pink. I'm really a fan. It looks really good, man. And so already PJ's got an incident. Oh, that was strange. John's car got damaged and then fixed itself. Actually, now that I'm thinking of it, I remember seeing something on the forums about a quick fix, and I don't think I've ever used that. I should probably find out what the button is for that. So he's going to continue on. That's dropped him back pretty far, though, and PJ even further, certainly. So by the way, that's why it says lap 2, is because we had to re-grid the race after the initial rolling start. So I was able to pretty nicely avoid this incident and move to the left because PJ's car had settled by the time I went through there. You can see up ahead Elvin had a little bit of a hard time navigating it because, like John, he was having to make decisions as PJ's car was still moving. PJ's car was pretty much settled by the time I was coming through the corner, so I already knew that going to the left was a good idea. And it looks like Elvin's having some low grip, or having some grip issues going through this long left-hand third corner. And it looks like that's probably going to put me right up behind him. He's going defensive into this 4th corner. Got to brake a little bit earlier than the track version, probably 120, 130 meters, something like that. And we give each other lots of room, and we both go a little bit wide. And I got a better exit speed though, and I'm going to take him on the inside. That's the job done. So I'm in the lead of this race actually at this point. And let me just change this to a TV view so we can kind of see what's going on in the back as well. Spencer is behind Elvin at the moment, and very close behind as well. Wouldn't be surprised if he's planning to make a move pretty soon here. This is a tough corner to pass somebody on though, this long left-hand corner. Kind of reminds me of the long right-hand corner at Silverstone, but in reverse. And it looks like Spencer again having a look around the outside, but again, not an easy passing location there. He's going to try the same move that somebody else used in the first race. Oh, I can't remember. That was Loro, I believe, who went around the outside of somebody at that turn. I do apologize if I'm wrong. But I'm pulling out a little bit of a gap here. It looks like I actually have the measure of Elvin, and he's kind of holding up the field behind. Spencer's having to go around the outside now, though, as we come to the end of what is effectively lap 1, but it's lap 2. And David is just behind Spencer, getting some slipstream. It looks like they might be going 3 wide. Nope. David's going to stay behind SD. Oh, and there's contact. There's contact between all 3 of the drivers. I hate to... I hate to be that guy, but I could just kind of see that coming. I didn't know this happened in the background. I'm seeing this for the first time. But yeah, Elvin just doesn't seem to have the same confidence that David and Spencer might, very likely because of just practice related issues and whatnot. But I'm willing to bet that Elvin braked a little bit early. Yep. No, not really though, actually. I think John actually just kind of carried too much speed. Let's take another look at that. Yeah, I mean, they're braking at like 105 meters. And as I was saying, I'm braking probably at about 120, 130 meters for this corner. And you can see my car is in the middle of a lockup up ahead, right there. So I even was struggling a little bit with this corner. So the 3 of them have a little bit of a coming together. John taps the back right of Elvin, and that sends him going off to the left-hand side. And unfortunately, Spencer's already there on the left-hand side by the time the contact is made. And there it is, and just spins into the wall. Wow, that's definitely going to be race-ending. Oh, yeah, look at that thick black smoke coming out of his car. Yeah, that's heavy damage right there. I imagine he's just going to quit right out. And holy crap! Oh, no, and John has hit Spencer in fantastic fashion. Wow, I gotta see what's happened here. That is truly amazing. Okay, let's do this. And this. Sorry, I know you guys might not be interested in seeing this, but I like seeing what happened to each individual person in an incident. Yeah, that's some pretty heavy front-end damage for Spencer as well. He does a 720 in the middle of the track and then gets hit by John and launched into the air. Wow. It's so beautiful. Holy cow. And just right down. Oh, it's gonna turn. Is it gonna turn over? You can just take off. Nope. No. Unfortunately, the corner is cambered. Oh no, he's just gonna roll right onto John's car. Oh god. Oh, what an incident. What an incident. That is just fantastic. I love that stuff. I really do. PJ right now must be thinking that his incident was probably pretty tame in comparison to what just happened at turn 1 there. Wow. And that's just given me an enormous gap. Just look at the gap I've got now. Unfortunately, though, it is Loro behind. Again, remember, this is his home race, and he is very fast here. And we still got, probably 9 laps left-ish, maybe 8. This car is a little bit slower. So, yeah. Very, very interesting happenings going on at turn 1 for every lap so far anyway. And that is kind of giving me a very comfortable lead to this race. And actually, I'm loving how the car looks from this angle. It's just sweet looking. I like the gray with the yellow. I think it looks good. And you can see Loro is getting closer in the distance already in the just couple of corners that we've been following now. And that's Esty just behind, who has been performing really well. And I forgot to mention this in the other video, but there's championship results at the end of the last video. I'm gonna put them up at the end of this video. No, I'm not gonna put them in the first video. I'm just gonna put them at the end of this video, because if I put them in the first video, then you'll have seen the results for this race before actually watching the video. So I'll just put it at the end of this one. So make sure you, if you're not gonna watch the whole thing, at least skip to the end so you can see the championship results. Some people were specifically requesting that in the comments for one of the other videos. So I'm going to put those in there. And you can already see Loro is just gaining massively. I can tell you right now that I could see visibly how close he was getting in my mirrors and in the timing. And I knew it was only a matter of time before he got by me. And I wasn't going to fight him, really, because he's just so much faster. And if I fight him, then I'm going to lose time to Esti, and so on. And, I lose time to everyone else as well. So if Loro gets a good run on me, I'm pretty much going to concede the position and just try to carry as much lap time as I can. Try not to have my lap time affected by Loro passing me. At the same time, I would like to win this race, and if I can maybe at least give him a hard time, I can pressure him into a mistake or something like that. It's not likely, but it's certainly possible. So, yep, you can see I actually went a little deep there, and I am gonna go side by side with him. No, he's got the line, so I move in to take the racing line, and that's gonna give him the lead of this race. And certainly, I'm not going to be able to catch him or pass him, even in the slipstream. You could see the distance he's gained on me already. So I'm not really confident in my chances of taking that position back. But I'm feeling pretty good about Esti behind. He's very similar pace, if not faster at times, possibly slower at times, but in general I'd say faster over the course of the season. My race win at Daytona, I think, moved me ahead of him in the championship, but it's only because of that. I'm pretty sure that I was ahead of him in the championship, as I'm getting very close to the grass on that corner there, using all of the track. And you can cut across the pit entrance with all four wheels, kind of how Felipe Massa was doing at the Brazilian Grand Prix for the 2013 F1 season. That is totally allowed in this game. That's something that I tried right at the beginning of my practice for this race, was crossing that line just to see if it gave some sort of incident or anything like that, and it did not, so I'm doing it every lap. And it looks like we're actually coming up on Spencer, who would be a lap down, of course, because of his exciting incident at turn 1 a couple laps ago. So we're coming up on him currently. Everyone's very fair in this league, though. Certainly, I didn't put up any fight when I was getting lapped in previous races, and you really don't expect anyone to do that. No one ever has, to my knowledge. It's never happened to me anyway, so I'm not worried about it. And just trying to be consistent. It's a little bit tougher to be consistent with this car. The big difference is the tires, which I've mentioned before already, but these are not slicks. These aren't racing slicks. These are actual grooved tires, kind of like what you would see on a Porsche that you buy at a dealership. Those kind of sport tires that are, nice. They're better than the average all-weather tires that your mom's minivan uses or whatever. They're certainly nice, but they're nothing compared to the slicks. The track version just handles like a dream, and I think the bigger part is the tires, not so much the weight. This car is heavier than the track, but I don't think that has as much to do with it, to be honest. I really think it's the tires. So David has gotten by Esti, and he's in third position at the moment and gaining on me pretty significantly. The gap to Esti is pretty much the same, so I'm feeling pretty good about my chances of staying in front of him. But already you can see how much closer David is, and he's really looking to take at second at least. I sincerely doubt he's going to catch Loro, who is already going into turn 4 now, but he certainly has a very good chance of taking second place off of me. Looks like he's got a little bit of damage. Oh, he got a little bit into the grass under braking for that corner. Had a little bit of a moment. And he's getting pretty close to a slipstream. If he's not already getting a slipstream, he's getting pretty close. Oh, and I've gone deep into this corner. He's taking a much better line. That's going to move him up very close behind me. And again, I'm missing my apex for that corner. That's not what I need to be doing. That's going to put him right up behind me now. And nicely on the throttle at the exit of that, actually. And again, you can see that gap to Esti, the bright red car behind. It's really not changing, so I'm feeling pretty good about my chances of getting a podium in this race. I knew Loro was going to get by, and when David showed up as well, I kind of knew the inevitable was about to happen anyway. So again, I didn't fight it too much. It's all very safe racing at this point. You know, I'm aware that he's back there and that he could move alongside of me for any of the upcoming quarters, so I'm just driving as safely as I can, keeping in mind what's happening behind me and the possibilities of what he might try. You know, I know that I'm to the outside for this corner, so I'm expecting he might move to the inside. He didn't, but I'm certainly prepared for that. As we go through the set of S's, I'm aware that he might try to go around the outside. It's not likely, but it's certainly possible. And again, as I come out of that corner, I'm aware that I need to pick a side, because he's going to be he's going to be moving alongside one way or another. So I choose to go to the right and just stick there. He ends up not going to the inside, but he ends up carrying a lot more speed through that turn 4, and we go side by side through that very fast left-hand corner. We're going to go side by side into the double apex right here. I've got the inside line, and it looks like actually I've edged him out here a little bit. Yeah, I've come out ahead in that corner, and I take the racing line from him, which is totally fair. I was not alongside of him, so I took my normal racing line, as I was entitled to. And he's very close behind though, and actually Esty is taking advantage of the battling, and he has moved up a little bit closer now. And it looks like I took that corner a little bit better than David and pulled out a little bit of a gap on him. I'm very cautious going through this downhill corner where Grosjean spun in 2012, I believe. Oh yes, he's carried much more speed through there. He's actually on the brakes very early. Certainly, the chicane is not a place where you want to be going very closely to a car in close proximity. That's a tough chicane to navigate by yourself. Never mind with a car, you know, right in front of you or just behind you. So David is playing it safe and smart for now. He's choosing his location, which, as I mentioned in the previous video, is always a good sign. If the car behind is having to pick his location on me and play it safe and smart and all that sort of stuff, that does usually mean that he's not, you know, loads faster than me. You'll notice Loro just kind of flew by. David is having a little bit of a harder time. Again, it's inevitable, but I'm able to give him a little bit more of a hard time. As we go through that turn 4, no, Esty's run wide. That's going to drop him back a little bit and give him an off-track incident. And it looks like, yeah, it's going to move Austin alongside him as well. And it looks like I actually had a little bit of oversteer under braking for this double right apex. Oh, is this Curva Grande? I really wish I knew. I know the final corner, or the second gear left-hand, that's Juncao. Man, I really can't remember, but I think it's turns 5 and 6. It might be 6 and 7. Anyway, I'm getting too hung up on that. So David has caught that time back that he lost out, and he is right behind again. I imagine he's probably looking to make a move into turn 1. No, he's going to do it right here into Juncao, giving each other lots of room, and he's going to move up the inside, and yep, he's got the position. He's going to move over onto the racing line, and I'm probably going to brake yep, you can see I give him lots of room going into the chicane. Again, you don't really want to be going very close to somebody through the chicane, and certainly that's lost me some time to him as we go down this straight, but I'd rather finish in third than last, and hitting another car. Oh, and it looks like that I cut a corner. Yep, I cut that chicane, and I had to give the time back. So that's why Esty has closed up on me massively, and you saw my car was over to the left-hand side as I was going into turn 1. That's because I don't want to cause any issues. The racing line is to the right as you're coming across the start-finishing line, so I moved to the left since I was having to give time back for a corner cut. Breaking down to turn 4, and got Esty just behind and Austin just behind him, so Esty did win out in that battle after Austin caught up with him. And these are two guys that I know I can possibly defend against. Loro and David I wasn't so confident about, but Esty and Austin I feel a little bit better about anyway. I feel that, you know, we're similarly paced anyway. So SD's been catching me. Part of that is because of the side-by-side stuff with Loro and David, though, or at least that's what I'm telling myself. So I'm hoping that I can defend against him. Certainly he is right up on me, though. I'm not pulling away. So either he has similar pace or he's slightly faster. He's definitely not any slower, though, because I just am not pulling away from him. And, oh, that was interesting. It looked like his brake lights were flashing. I wonder if he cut the corner, possibly, and that was him giving time back. I gotta say, I don't have any sort of technique for giving time back. I just kind of let off the gas and then go back on it and let off it and go back on it. And maybe what he was doing there is a better technique for giving the time back. I gotta look into that. Going down into turn 1, and I have pulled out a little bit on him, but again, that might be because he was having to give time back for a corner cut. Austin just behind as well, so it's looking like this is going to be a three-way battle for the final podium position. So this is 3rd, 4th, and 5th. David up ahead, pulling ahead, of course. No surprise there. I don't think he's catching Loro, though. You guys saw how quickly Loro pulled away, and David's not quite pulling away as quickly. So it's looking like Loro really does have the pace around his home track at Interlagos. And it looks like Austin's closing in on SD a little bit, and I can tell you I'm certainly hoping that he might be able to start harassing SD, because if they can start battling, that'll give me a chance to start pulling out a gap. Oh, and that was an interesting move there. SD looked to be moving out to my inside, but he wasn't quite alongside me, and I kind of closed the door on that. And I'm defensive through this very tight second gear corner. Really don't have to worry too much about someone passing you at this corner, unless you got Loro behind you, apparently. But he certainly closed in on me. It's looking like both of them might even be a little bit faster to me. Oh, and it looks like Estes had a little bit of an issue. Either that or Austin has... No, Estes definitely lost time to me. And it looks like Estes has lost out there. And actually, where is Estes? Okay, let's take that back and find out what happened. They kind of disappeared off camera. So Austin has the inside line, and yep, SD just kind of has to concede the position. Oh, and he takes out a cone. Yep, that's not the best way through the chicane, so he's going to be losing time all down this straight. Meanwhile, Austin has gotten a fantastic run out of the chicane, and he has pretty much replaced SD as my threat from behind as we go into turn 1. It's lap 11, which means it's actually lap 10, so this is pretty close to the end of the race here. I'll change the camera for the end here. And he's probably just barely getting a slipstream on me. I feel pretty good about that corner we just went through, though. That's turn 3, I believe. I had a technique going through that you guys might be able to pick up on if you watch the onboard from the cockpit view. I was shifting a little bit early, and I was lifting off the gas while shifting, and that seemed to give me better grip and less understeer and just more acceleration through the corner. As I've gone very wide through this double right apex corner, and Austin's going to move to the inside, and I'm going to try and stick with him around the outside. And oh wow, and I've actually managed to defend the position. He's still along the outside though, and I've managed to edge him out just barely with the inside line for that corner. Gonna stay defensive to the inside for this corner now. As we go down the hill for this very high speed 3rd or 4th gear corner. Really I'd say it's 3rd gear and then 4th gear. 3rd gear for the entrance, 4th gear for the exit. Braking now for Juncal. And I've gone a little bit wide, and he's going to move to the inside, and I'm going to have to concede that position. When you have the inside line for the chicane, that's pretty much a job done, and SD is closing up behind as well. This battling between Austin and I is doing wonders for SD's race. I believe this is now the final lap of the race that we're about to start, if I'm not mistaken. Again, there's no flags being waved in the game itself, not that I see anyway. Yeah, I don't see any flags being waved. That would be a nice feature, so then we could all see that it's, you know, white flag, final lap of the race, that sort of thing. So I'm not far behind Austin, and I think I'm actually close enough to be getting a slipstream on him. And And again, I'm very confident in my abilities through that long turn 3 there, and I do believe I am closing him in down this straight. Yep, it certainly looks like I'm much closer. And hitting the apex nicely for that corner. It's important to carry a lot of speed through that corner as you're pretty much flat out all the way down into this double right apex corner, and trying to carry as much speed as I can through there. Not really gaining or losing time to Austin ahead. Oh, and what's happened to Austin? Oh, let's find out. This is the final lap of the race. Yep, and it looks like he's just carried a bit too much speed through that corner. He's run very wide, and that's going to put me up right behind him. And actually so much so that I'm able to move to the inside for Junkow. I've got the inside line. I'm just barely alongside him, so he's forced to give me the room. He's got a little bit of oversteer. There's actually a little bit of contact there, which I didn't know happened. Just a little bit of contact. I'm able to edge him out through the chicane. And actually he's carried a lot of speed through the chicane, however, and he's got the inside line as we go across and towards the finish line. And who's it going to be? And wow, I cannot tell, actually, from that angle. Not exactly sure what happened. Let's take another look. Oh, we already passed the line. There it is. Nope, that's not a great angle. That's not a great angle either. Let me see if I can... Wow, I legitimately cannot find an angle that actually shows. Well, actually, I did barely edge him out. I can tell you guys I was able to hang on to third position for this race after holding the lead for a little while there. Man, that's a little bit of a bummer. Let me see. Oh, okay. Well, this is kind of a good... Was that the line? Ah, there's the line. Right there. So you can see my car is just ever so slightly ahead. In the onboard with Austin there, I swear to God, it looked like he had me. In the end, this was actually, we were separated by 3/1000ths of a second, which means 3 out of the 4 last races I participated in with PRL, I was able to edge out another driver by less than 1/10 of a second. On 2 of those 3 races, I was able to edge out another driver by less than 5/1000ths of a second. In the Daytona race, I think that was 1/1000th? No, actually now I'm not sure, but it was certainly less than 100th. Which is just amazing that these races are being decided in the thousandths of seconds, which it's just fantastic. I'm really starting to love this league, this series. It's just lots of fun, really close racing, and very mature, respectable racing, respectful, excuse me, racing, and it's really fantastic to be a part of. It's fantastic to do commentary for. It's just loads of fun in general. So don't think I did any victory or celebratory donuts for this one as we go side by side into turn 1. The race is over, mind you. We're just so excited about driving side by side, apparently. We just keep going through the Sun S side by side. So that's a 3rd place finish. Not bad after that race. You know, it was looking like maybe I could win the race, but not with Lauro. Yeah, in the end, guys, it should be pointed out, Lauro was 20 seconds ahead of David and 30 seconds ahead of myself and Austin. Esty must have had some sort of issue. He ended up being almost 4.5 seconds back. John as well did not have had another not so great race here in Brazil. So make sure you watch the end of the video. I'm gonna in just a second here, you're gonna see the championship results. But I can tell you right now that I am in 4th in the championship. I was in 3rd before this race, so I believe David passed me. I could be wrong about that. I'm not looking at the results right now, but you guys will be able to see the results in just a moment here. So thank you so much for watching. Again, I have a blast doing these, and the last races of the season are coming up this Sunday, February 16th. It is at the Canadian Circuit de Gilles Villeneuve. I do apologize if I butchered that, but it's at the Circuit de Gilles Villeneuve, and it's going to be an interesting race. It's going to be, I believe, with the track, which is the very nimble and awesome fun one, and then also with the AWD, the all-wheel drive 730 horsepower one, which is extremely heavy, extremely powerful, and all-wheel drive. So it should be interesting, and I hope you guys check out those videos. And don't forget, there's going to be after the results here, there's going to be a link to the onboard cockpit view without commentary, just the race by itself. So make sure you guys check out that if you're interested in seeing the cockpit view stuff. Thanks for watching. Bye-bye.